The first principle from the Hermetic series is the principle of mentalism. Well, the concept that they're talking about is that our intelligence, our consciousness, our mental activity is what is actually creating the world that we live in. Well, that sounds like a really weird idea, but guess what? It is ultimate modern quantum physics. When quantum physics discovered that atoms were made out of energy, that all of a sudden the view that the whole world, the whole universe was, although it appeared to be made out of matter, was all energy. And energy connects with energy. So the significance was that even on the founding day of quantum physics in 1927, Max Planck, one of the founding fathers of this science, recognized that consciousness is creating our life experiences. Well, how you are thinking and what you're believing and how you behave is actually manifesting the experiences we have in this world. Well, interesting part about this is, well, that sounds like a pretty old idea. Maybe, has any foundation? I don't know. Well, it does have. I'll tell you why. Because the same principle in quantum physics is still active today. In a more recent article in the journal Nature, the most prestigious scientific journal on this planet, guess what? The author, Richard Conn Henry, a physicist, wrote in an article entitled The Mental Universe, a conclusion. And the conclusion is so profoundly simple and so profoundly important. The conclusion he wrote in a scientific article is, the universe is immaterial. Well, as I just mentioned a moment ago, when the scientists recognized that atoms, although they appear to be made out of particles such as protons, neutrons, and electrons, when you ultimately take these particles apart, you get down to the bottom, and guess what? At the bottom is nothing physical at all. At the bottom are energy vortices like nano tornadoes. It's all energy. So we start with the quote again. The universe is immaterial. It's mental and spiritual. Live and enjoy. Well, it's nearly over 100 years here since quantum physics has come into its inception. Guess what? The same principle that we had from day one is still here. That the universe is based on our mental character and our spiritual foundation. Energy is being created through our consciousness, and that energy is what's shaping the world. Well, of course, this is the first of the Hermetic principles that we're talking about, and it's connected to quantum physics. What we'll see is all of the principles are understandable through quantum physics. And this is nothing new in our world. Ancient India, prophets in ancient India all talked about what is the life of a world based on energy. Ancient principles have been shaped through Hindu philosophy, and all of it is based on what? The nature of an energy universe. And in fact, it's a very interesting fact that some of the best quantum physicists in the world are from the lineage of the ancient Hindus. So what they knew thousands of years ago is coming back to us. And so when we look back at them, perhaps we should consider they might have been a little bit more intelligent than we give them credit for. But as you see, as we go through these principles, they're all connected with today's modern science. I want to just add a very important part. This is the foundation of quantum physics because it recognizes that what we perceive as atoms, as matter, are actually made out of energy. So an atom is an immaterial, not physical structure. It's an illusion of physicality. The concept that quantum physics has revealed is that our mental character is actually creating the world. Well, this is profoundly important just from a simple scientific point of view. For example, we talk about what we call the placebo effect. So what's the placebo effect? Well, someone has an illness, they take a drug that is told to them to be what they needed to heal themselves with, they take the drug, they get better. And then we find out that the drug they took was a sugar pill. So the question is then, what healed this person? And the answer was the positive thinking that resulted from the placebo effect. Well, guess what? There's a consequence of negative thinking. That's called the nocebo effect. And most of the illnesses on this planet can actually be really related back to negative consciousness. The nocebo effect is the opposite of the placebo effect. Yet both placebo and nocebo are mental constructions. And so basically what we have to understand is our thinking indeed is creating our world, and there's a difference between positive thinking and negative thinking. It's our mental and spiritual character, which are energies, mentations, are actually what are creating our life experiences. So Hermetic principle number 1, check box, good one.